There's a lot of noise right now around sustainability in hospitality. Certifications, awards, alliances, and most hotel leaders that I speak with aren't sure which ones actually matter and which ones are just adding a logo to their website. Here's what I know. Choosing the wrong one can waste time, money, and credibility. And in this space right now, credibility is everything. I've spent years advising luxury hotels on sustainability strategy and helping them pursue certifications that lead to global recognition. So in this video, I'll walk you through which certifications are actually worth your time, which awards generate real PR and visibility, and how to use both to strengthen your brand and drive bookings. So let's get into it. Part 1. This is what I like to call the verification filter. So before we get into the specific certifications, there's something most hotel teams don't realize about this space. For years, many sustainability programs allowed hotels to self-report. Hotels essentially graded themselves. You can imagine that caused a lot of confusion and created a credibility problem. Today, the certifications that actually matter rely on a third-party independent verification. That means an external auditor is going to come to your hotel and validate the work you're reporting on. This is no longer about just credibility. It's becoming about compliance. The EU recently passed the Empowering Consumers Directive. Previously, sustainability claims were loosely guided, open to interpretation. Now, it's enforceable. Third-party verification is required and financial penalties are attached. So, in very plain English terms, if your hotel markets to European travelers, you cannot say words like eco, green, sustainable, unless you can back that up with an independently verified data. If you can't prove it, you can't say it. And it doesn't matter where your hotel is located, London, Dubai, New York, the Maldives. If you attract EU guests, this applies to you. And fines can reach up to 4% of annual turnover or 2 million euros. Not something to snuff at. This isn't a future warning, this is now. So when you're evaluating any sustainability program, start with one simple question. Does it require independent verification? If not, you need to understand why you would commit beforehand. I want you to take a moment before we go any further and hit that subscribe button. If you're finding this content useful, I need you to subscribe to this channel. It will help me greatly. I make content specifically for independent hotel leaders who want real, practical guidance on sustainability strategy. And there's more coming. Okay, subscribe, and now let's get back into it. So part 2, certification strategy. A quick word of caution before we really dive in, and the biggest mistake I see hoteliers making is choosing a certification because they feel pressure to have one or because their peers have one, so they can add a logo to their website and check a box on a booking platform. And that is really backwards thinking. Certification should organize the work and validate it that you're already doing, not replace it. Because when a certification becomes just a logo without that operational commitment behind it, that's when hotels drift into performative sustainability. And now that's not just a reputational risk, it is a regulatory one. The right certification, remember this, depends on your hotel's identity, your building, your location, your team's capacity, and what you're actually trying to achieve in the market. There's no universal answer, but there are programs worth understanding, and we're gonna talk about them right now. So, Part 3, the certifications worth knowing. In this section, I'm going to walk you through the 6 certifications, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to think about them based on your specific property. Because the right one for a coastal resort in the Caribbean is not the same right one for a boutique mountain lodge in Colorado. The first certification we're going to talk about is the GSTC, the Global Sustainable Tourism Council. And this is the standard of standards. But first, you need to understand that the GSTC doesn't directly certify hotels. This is very confusing sometimes. What they do is they establish the global criteria that other certification bodies align with. Think of GSTC as the international standard of standards. When a certification is recognized by GSTC, it means that that program has been independently evaluated against acceptable global benchmarks. So here's your first filter question right off the bat. Is the certification you are considering GSTC recognized? If yes, you are starting from a very credible foundation already. So certification number 2 is EarthCheck, the performance ecosystem. You know, EarthCheck is one of the most sophisticated programs in the space. And what makes it stand apart is it's not just a certification, it's a performance system. Their platform tracks energy, water, waste, carbon emissions, community impact, environmental degradation, and it benchmarks that data against a global tourism database. So you're not just saying you're sustainable, you can actually demonstrate how your hotel performs. Because it's science-based and data-driven, you're already operating in a way that aligns with regulatory expectations. So instead of trying to prove your claims after the fact, you're building that system that supports that from the beginning. Now, it is much more rigorous than some of the other ones we're going to discuss, and it takes more time and investment. But the more work, the more reward, and I have to impress on you how much this means to operational savings. That's exactly why it also carries so much weight with corporate buyers, ESG teams, and serious travel advisors. Certification levels in increasing order of commitment as well. So if you have silver, you've been certified for 1 to 4 years, gold 5 to 9, and platinum 10 to 14. And then the master certification is 15 years plus. Now here's an insider detail most operators don't know about EarthCheck. And it's actually a competitive advantage if you use it right. EarthCheck's science was developed by the Australian Government Sustainable Tourism Cooperative Research Centre over a 10-year period, and its data aligns directly with corporate ESG reporting frameworks. So what does that mean to you? When a corporate travel buyer asks your hotel for sustainability data to include in their own ESG report, EarthCheck certified properties can externally audited figures can feed that directly into those reports. So that's not just a nice to have for corporate group meetings and incentive travel. That is a procurement filter. Hotels without it often get removed from shortlists before the conversation even starts. So EarthCheck is the only program where this list, the certification level, tells the story, how long you've been certified, and signals to those corporate and incentive meeting buyers that you are worth having their event with. Next certification is Green Globe International. This is your international signal. Green Globe is a powerful certification with strong global recognition, particularly across Europe, the Caribbean, Asia, Pacific, and Latin America. Now, where EarthCheck leans into performance and benchmarking, Green Globe really leans into global credibility. It evaluates environmental performance, social responsibility, economic impact, supply chain management across 44 different criteria that have been refined since the 90s, so they know what is going on in the hotel space. If your property attracts international travelers or works closely with travel advisors, this familiarity is a meaningful advantage. Now, here's something worth knowing about Green Globe. It works operationally because it catches a lot of hotels by surprise. Green Globe requires certification every single year. Not every 3 years, not every 2 years. On-site audits happen, either desktop audits or alternate on-property audits every year, which means you're always accountable. You always are being reviewed. Now, for some hotels, that may feel like a lot, right? But what it does is it keeps you on your toes. Make sure that you are making the most of your certification and you're increasing your efficiency every single year and enhancing your team's ability to deliver. So, annual certification is annual proof. Think of it like that. In a world where travel advisors and now regulators are questioning whether sustainability claims hold up over time, a hotel that can show consecutive years of verified performance is telling a fundamentally different story than the ones that are certified and then it just moves on. Now, next one up is number 4, Green Key Global. The operational starting point, as I like to refer to it. Green Key Global drives your operations and really organizes your efforts with your team. It has a structured framework for energy, water, waste, purchasing, and it's grown quickly in North America because it's more accessible. And for many hotels, that makes it a very smart starting point. But I want to be honest with you, it is lighter than some of the others we've talked about so far. On its own, it can feel a little bit more surface level compared to other rigorous programs. But what I like about it is if you haven't done the work yet, it allows you to start to get your teams organized and get them up and running. But what I do caution is that you choose the online audit. I think that having someone on the ground doing your audit for you only helps you in the long run. Now, pairing this with another certification, such as Audubon, which we're gonna talk about, or Surfrider, which we're gonna talk about, I think is really your smartest move. And another insider tip with this is if you are a brand or you are a management company, I think this is a really smart certification. One of the reasons is because they have a portfolio option. So they let you get multiple hotels up and running at the same time. So they really allow you to streamline things. That is Green Key Global. Now, the next one is Audubon International. This is your conservation partnership. And I love this because conservation is really a buzzword right now, and it is the future of travel and tourism. Audubon International focuses specifically on conservation and biodiversity. If your hotel is surrounded by natural ecosystems, coastal environments, mountain landscapes, wetlands, wildlife habitats, and that environment is central to the guest experience, this is one you should be paying attention to. What makes Audubon particularly valuable is the level of support they provide. Their environmental specialists conduct site visits, work directly with your team throughout the process. So for hotels without a dedicated sustainability team, this isn't just a certification, it's a true partnership. And here's something that surprises most people when I tell them. Audubon International was originally built for golf courses, not hotels. They were the first organization in the world to work with the golf industry on sustainability, and they built their credibility there over decades. The hotel program came later as it was demanded from resort properties with those natural surroundings around them. Now, why does this matter to you? Because Audubon's expertise in managing living ecosystems, habitat, biodiversity, wildlife corridors, water systems is genuinely deep. And that deep knowledge in golf courses is hospitality as well. So this isn't a program that adapted general sustainability criteria for hotels. It's an organization that built its science in the field, on the ground, around real ecological systems. And that expertise transfers directly into any resort property where nature is a part of the guest experience. Now, really quick, just to know, Audubon International is not affiliated with National Audubon Society. A lot of people assume that they are. They're a completely separate organization, so just remember that. Next up is LEED. Now, LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. This is the United States Green Business Council's standard for building performance. Unlike the others on the list, LEED focuses on the building itself, your envelope, as some people would call it. And it focuses on the design, construction, how efficiently it operates. It really works best with new construction or major renovation projects like an adaptive reuse where you take a historic building and turn it into a hotel. And where sustainability is built into the design from the beginning. So for existing hotels, it becomes relevant when there's an opportunity to upgrade all of those systems at the same time through redevelopment. Here's what's most important about an independent operator that sometimes they don't realize about LEED and why it matters, even if you're not building anything new. LEED certification is permanent. So unlike operational certifications that require annual renewal, LEED certifies the building itself. So once you have it, it doesn't expire, which means LEED Platinum on an existing building is one of the most compelling signals you can have when competing for high-value corporate group business or from an asset management standpoint. Because corporate sustainability officers aren't just asking what your hotel does, they're asking what your hotel is. Now, LEED is the one certification that follows the building, not the management team. If you sell the property, LEED stays. If the leadership changes, LEED stays. And that permanence is something, a lot of operators underestimate. Now, last on my list, number 6 is Surfrider ocean-friendly hotels. And now, not to go against what I said earlier, this is not a third-party verified certification, but they carry a lot of credibility, and paired with one of the other certifications, this is really a monster way to tackle, the ocean conservation that we need so desperately. If your hotel is on the coast, you need to pay attention to this. Now, Surfrider's Ocean-Friendly Hotels program is built around one specific, powerful focus. That's eliminating single-use plastic. And if you're operating in the coast right now and you have any plastic in your hotel, I can promise you, even if your guest is not mentioning it, you're leaving them with an impression, and it's probably not a good one. Now, Surfrider is one of the most recognized ocean conservation nonprofits worldwide, with chapters in California all the way to Senegal. They're deeply loyal. They have a following and an engaged community. So when your hotel carries ocean-friendly hotels designation, you're not just checking a sustainability box, you are really aligning with a movement. And they market and advertise their hotels that are part of this program on their website. So you're also getting exposure there as well. Now, let's think about what all of this means. The awards that are worth entering only if you've done the work already. So let's talk about the awards. Once your operational work is in place, the next opportunity is recognition. The fun part, right? Certifications build the foundation, and awards help you tell that story. They create visibility with the press, travel advisors, and potential guests long before someone arrives at your property. And it's helpful to think about awards in three ways. Industry recognition, market visibility, and guest validation. Here are the programs that are worth your time. So, recognition, how the industry sees you. The World Sustainable Travel and Hospitality Awards, one of the most globally recognized sustainability award programs in the industry. Completely open entry. And remember that, because not all of the awards that I talk about are not linked to a specific certification. I don't think it's fair to gatekeep. I think they have to be open entry. Applications are judged on measurable impact, partnerships, best practice, alignment, and scalability. So recognition here generates real international visibility. Next up is the Cateys Awards, and you know, they call the Cateys the Oscars of the hospitality industry. Winners are selected by industry experts and past award recipients, making this a true signal of leadership and operational excellence. This is a really great one for luxury. For hotels, this is less about marketing and more about really earning respect within the industry itself. Next is market visibility. How are advisors and buyers finding your hotel and your awards? That's when the Travel Weekly Magellan Awards come into play, one of the most recognized travel industry awards in North America. There's a dedicated eco-friendly resort category, and the winners are featured in Travel Weekly's October issue, and that reaches thousands of travel professionals and those decision makers deciding whether your hotel is worth their time. So if attracting travel advisors matters to your business, and for independent luxury hotels, it absolutely should, this award carries real weight. Now, networks like Virtuoso, remember, are looking at things like this all the time and identifying sustainable properties for their clients. So that one is a real one to consider. Now, next up is the World Travel Awards. World Travel Awards operate through nominations and industry voting. Regional categories include things like leading green hotel. These awards generate strong engagement from industry peers, partners, and guests. Last is guest validation. How is the traveler choosing you? And the Zoe Report Reader's Choice Eco Awards, which they just came out with their 2026 list of award winners, and I will drop that in the show notes so you can check out those hotels. These recognize hotels that successfully combine sustainability, design, wellness, and overall experience. Because they're voted on by a highly engaged, style-conscious audience, they're especially valuable for those boutique and lifestyle hotels looking to stay relevant with that modern luxury traveler. And then last is the Tripadvisor Traveler's Choice Sustainable Hotel. Tripadvisor introduced this, I think, back in 2024, and it's going to appear directly on the world's largest travel review platform, and that's right when they are booking. So that's not a detail, that is a conversion tool. Keep that in mind. Now, if it's important to you to master storytelling, which it absolutely should, that is the last piece of this puzzle, how well you communicate it, the HSMAI Adrian Awards, these are some of the most respected marketing awards in hospitality. What makes them unique is they evaluate you, how effectively you communicate your sustainability story. So for hotels investing real effort into sustainability and wanting to turn that into a compelling guest story, this is a really powerful visibility tool. And you know why I love this too? This helps get your teams really engaged in this whole process, almost like a competition. Now, part 5, the framework that ties it all together, and here's how I want you to think about this. The work builds the story, certifications build the credibility, awards are going to amplify both. Recognition doesn't require a specific certification, but what it does require is documented work. So track your initiatives, track your partnerships, track your operational improvements. Those all become the foundation for awards, press, and advisor recommendations, and stronger marketing without the concern of greenwashing. And certifications, they provide all that credibility, not only internally for your teams, but externally for those partners and travel advisors who are really trying to understand which hotels in the market right now are genuinely committed to sustainability. And remember, booking platforms and Google, they are requiring independently verified claims before they allow you to highlight your property as sustainable. So remember, the hotels that stand out in sustainability aren't always the ones with the most logos. They're the ones doing the most meaningful work and then being strategic about how they tell that story. Whoa, I know we covered a lot. I'm tired. And I want you to know that there's support out there for you. If you're sitting there thinking, I don't have time for this, my team doesn't have time for this, that's what Greenluxe is for. So take a moment, go to greenluxeinc.com and check out our services, from strategy to training to procurement to storytelling. We know exactly what the right certification is for you and how to tell that story in a way that drives bookings and garners all that attention that you deserve. So I want you to make sure that you tell me what you'd like to hear about. I want this channel to be your resource hub for all things sustainable hospitality, regenerative tourism, and storytelling. So drop it in the comments. If there's something that you're evaluating right now with your teams or thinking about, let me know what it is. I read all those comments and I'll create a video around it. And if there's something else you just want to know about, I'll do that research too. So if you work in hospitality and you want clear guidance, practical guidance on how sustainability strategy can position your hotel as a leader in the market, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. It helps me create these videos for you. And this is exactly the kind of content that I'm going to keep putting out for you. So I will see you in the next video.